Welcome back to EDEL 594. I'm your instructor, Professor Mildred Donahue. Today we'll be going over your Frontis materials, your title and approval page, your abstract, your table of contents, your list of tables and figures, if any, and your acknowledgments and dedication. All of this material must follow the format in the project handbook exactly. There are two types of Frontis materials in your graduate project, mandatory and optional. Your mandatory materials are your title and approval page, your abstract, your table of contents, and your lists of tables and figures, if you have any. Your acknowledgments and dedication are optional, but I highly recommend that you include an acknowledgments page as a matter of professional courtesy. On your title approval page, spacing and margins are critical. You will see an example on this slide and can examine it more closely on page 22 of the Graduate Project Handbook. Your title approval page is the first page of your project and the only page that does not have a visible page number. The page numbers for the Frontis materials, everything up to and including the dedication, are in lowercase Roman numerals, not Arabic numerals. But on the title approval page, the number is an invisible lowercase Roman numeral 1. Your title approval page, like the rest of your project, should be printed in 12-point Times New Roman font. You must replicate the spacing, margins, and capitalization of every word on the sample page exactly, except for inserting your own name, the title of your project, and the name of your professor in the appropriate places. For the name and title of your professor, please put Mildred R. Donahue, EDD, Professor of Education and Reading. Your abstract is a 150 to a 200-word summary of your project. If you have been careful with your writing of Chapter 5, you may take all or most of your abstract from the text of your summary section. The abstract page is the first page on which a page number appears, a lowercase Roman numeral 2, centered at the bottom of the page. Your abstract contains absolutely no references or footnotes. Your table of contents must be formatted exactly. You can see an example on the right side of your screen and on page 24 of your Graduate Project Handbook. You must replicate the spacing, margins, and formatting of this page exactly. List all headings and subheadings that appear in your project, as well as the numbers of the pages on which they appear. This includes everything from the abstract to the appendices, except for the table of contents itself. Your table of contents is generally more than one page long. I strongly advise you to check your table of contents last, just before submitting your project, as any changes you make to the project may alter your pagination and throw off the page numbers on your table of contents. You will include a list of tables only if your project includes tables, and a list of figures only if your project includes figures. Collect your tables and figures in separate lists. The lists may not be combined. Use the same format as your table of contents to list each table or figure by number on a separate line and the page number on which it appears. Please note your tables and figures are numbered sequentially within each chapter. The tables in Chapter 1, for example, are numbered Table 1.1, Table 1.2, and so on, while the tables in Chapter 2 are numbered Table 2.1, Table 2.2, etc. The same is true of the numbering of figures, Figure 1.1, Figure 1.2, and so on. Once again, check all your page numbers last, just before turning in your project, to make sure that they are listed accurately in your lists of tables and figures. Your project may include an acknowledgments page and or a dedication page. Both of these features are optional, but I strongly recommend that you include an acknowledgments page as a matter of professional courtesy. In your acknowledgments page, you will identify and acknowledge people and resources that have helped you in your project. Possible acknowledgments may include books that inspired you, family members or friends that supported you, or instructors who guided you on your path to producing this project. It is customary to acknowledge your project advisor, but you may also want to acknowledge other instructors who have helped or mentored you along the way. It is considered courteous and politically astute to acknowledge that your work did not develop in a vacuum and that others have helped you. You have the option of dedicating your work to one or more people, although, of course, this is not required. If you do choose to include a dedication, keep it brief and formal. You may be very grateful to your spouse for supporting you while you completed your project, but there's no need to write a poem about it or include anything likely to make your reader blush. Remain professional at all times and keep it simple. Once again, my contact information is displayed here for reference. If you have any questions about the content of this presentation, feel free to email me or ask me during your weekly Skype conference. Thank you for watching, and good luck in writing your Frontis materials.